Hello and OMG, welcome back to my channel where today we have such a fun video because I'm going to be reviewing the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Eyeshadow Palette from a consumer standpoint. So if you want to see how to get this look and if it's really worth $68, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so let's get on into the video. So I wanted to read you really quick some information about this Patrick Ta Eyeshadow Palette. Now it is $68, so it is quite a hefty amount for an eyeshadow palette. Now, this palette online looks more in the nude spectrum, but in person, it's more of like a pink mauve spectrum of colors. So this is more of a palette if you are more into like the lighter pinks, the mauve tone looks, not so much brown nude looks. So that's just me speaking from using this palette once. And let me go ahead and show you all really quick. I'm sure you all have seen this palette everywhere already, but you see how it's more pinky versus online. It is more nude. Okay, so if you go to patrickta.com, there is a little brief description about the product, and it says that it's gluten-free, cruelty-free. It says, let me stop saying because I told myself I'm gonna stop saying in my videos. About the product, it's a versatile eyeshadow palette that contains 2 luminous cream bases, which are right here. At first, I thought that they were maybe like cream blushes, but they're basically bases to put on your eyes. Then it says that they also have velvety matte and iridescent metallic eyeshadows and glistening pearl toppers. So these would be the mattes. These ones would be the iridescent metallic eyeshadows and right here, and then the glitter toppers would be right here. They're really pretty in person. The camera's not really doing these ones justice, but in person, if you guys can go to Sephora and take a look at it, it is a beautiful palette in person. Now, it says application. Using a brush, apply the creams and eyeshadows and blend as desired. So there's really no skill or technique for that. Each shade can be worn alone or layered together for optimal depth and dimension. So basically, you could create deep looks, cat eyes, halo eyes, everything of that sort. You can layer and experiment with applying bases all over the lid or the lash line to intensify a smoky eye or to the crease to add depth. So basically, you can use these bases as all over your lid. You could make a line out of it to kind of make like an eyeliner eyeshadow look, or towards the edges of it to basically create more depth and dimension if you wanted more of like a cat eye or more of like an extended smoky eye. It also says top with shadows like velvety matte or the transparent pearl. So basically you can put on top of this cream base the matte or the pearls. Now the benefits and features, this unique eyeshadow palette features both cream and powder shades and a variety of warm and cool tones, perfect for creating everything from everyday looks to event glam. I do have to agree with that just because when you look at the spectrum of colors that you are given, you can definitely get away with more of an everyday look using these bottom colors right here and even a little bit of this glitter right here. And if you wanted more of a glam look for an event, you definitely would tap into these colors, and especially these colors if you're looking for something that sparkles more at nighttime. So it also says one of Patrick Ta's signature techniques for creating his naturally contoured glowing looks is to artificially layer creams and powders. So that's just a pro tip that he has on the website, not about this specific palette. Now this palette has out of 5-star reviews, 4.8 stars. I'm seeing that it says it's a gorgeous palette, love the colors and quality, absolutely love it. Basically love, love, love. I have used this eyeshadow palette just once and I created more of a mauve look. So I wanted to create something a little bit more dramatic and possibly use some of the shimmers. Now I'm not going to be able to use every single color in this palette, but I want to go ahead and give you all a look and give you all my opinion on it from a consumer standpoint. Looking at the packaging alone, it is a beautiful palette. The only thing that sucks is that the more you touch it, the more fingerprints you get on it. It is a light palette. At the same time, it has some weight to it if that matters to you. To me, what mostly matters is not necessarily the packaging, but more of how this actual palette performs. So I have not tapped into these creams once again because I thought that they were for like a cream blush type of look, but we're going to go ahead and use the lighter shade for more of in here of my eye, and we're going to use concealer for the top of my eye. So let's go ahead and start on that. Patrick Ta, if you don't already know who he is basically a really, really famous makeup artist to celebrities. He has amazing technique. I want to say he's one of the best makeup artists out there, or best makeup creators and such. So If you have not followed Patrick Ta, you definitely should. He is really cool to follow. He has a really great story too on how he became into makeup as a boy in makeup, and it's just really cool to hear his story. And his products are so beautiful. Like they're in Sephora. They're also on his website. So if you shop at Sephora, you will definitely see his stuff there. And I know that he's also known really well for his brow. It's like a brow freeze. It's like a brow wax. If you wanted those like fluffy brows, that's not something that works for me. But if you're one of those who's in the market for something like that, you definitely want to check that out at Sephora. I went lighter on my eyebrows today because the tips of my hair are more of like a red brown, because when I was blonde, I had bleached my hair so much that now that I've let my natural hair grow out, the basically bottom tips of my hair and throughout, I have like what looks like highlights of like brownish red. So I kind of did my eyebrows a lighter color to match those hair tips, because I feel like during the summer, why not? Why not just do the eyebrows lighter? I'm at the point though where I think I do need to dye my hair, and I can't decide if I want to go light. But it's been such a journey growing out my hair from how much I damaged it that I don't know, y'all. Let me know down below. Should I go light, perhaps blonde again? Or should I stay dark? I'm thinking dark because it's healthier. It's less to maintain, but you know, you live once. Okay, so now we're just going to take a Luxie concealer brush, and I'm going to go ahead and tap into that base, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it. Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't have applied it all over the lid, but I could see where if you're doing, if you're doing like a halo eye and you just apply this to the center, how that would work out, or how if you were just to apply it to the edges if you're going for a specific look. But we'll just go ahead and see how this looks for an all over look. Comment down below if you have any Patrick Ta products, anything you would recommend to me. Again, this palette is pretty expensive, so it's definitely out of the range that I would suggest something to you all. However, sometimes for those of you who are looking for just a really good palette and you're willing to just pay an extra amount for something that's of really good quality, I don't blame you all. Like, for example, I did reviews on the Viseart palette right here. I have two of these. Well, I have this one and a different version, and they are really good palettes. They're $80. So if you're someone who isn't looking for a huge makeup collection, I could see why people spend a lot of money on certain palettes. So this is what it looks like after tapping into it, so it doesn't make a mess. I really like that it has this little clear shaft door so that you can close it so that the cream doesn't get messed up. Now, if you're looking for more of a darker look, or if you have a darker skin tone, this would be really, really pretty to use as well. So what kind of look do we want to create with this? We're just going to go ahead and tap into, let's use more of the darker colors and some of the sparkles. So we'll go ahead and tap into this color right here. The names are on the back. It is in the color Devotion. I want to say it's Devotion. Let's start on the outer, and then we'll build more towards the center because I want to see how this goes onto the cream base. Okay. This is definitely going on pretty dark with this cream base. So I could tell you, because I did use this palette before without the cream base, if you use it without it and you're just using a concealer to put on the shadow, it goes on way lighter. So if you want something that's more of a lighter look, definitely avoid the cream bases. The cream bases look like so far you're going to get more of a deeper look that really enhances more of the tones of the mauves in here and the pinks and all of that. But if you want something that's more of everyday and not so dramatic, definitely stick to not using the cream bases. The cream bases are really nice though. It's really cool to see a palette. This is pretty innovative. It's pretty cool to see a palette that has cream bases included in it. I don't think I've ever seen a palette with a cream base in it. I've definitely seen palettes with highlighters in them, maybe a couple blushes included in them, but definitely not cream bases. Okay, so this is going to be a dramatic look real quick. Now, I already did my base makeup, so I have to be very careful with cleaning this part up. I like to just kind of bring out the shadows. Okay, this is going to be a very, very pink look. And this is what I'm saying is that in the palette, this looks like it would go on more of like a bronzy, right? But as you can see, it goes on definitely more of a mauve. Now I want to go ahead and just tackle the underneath of the brow bone. So we're going to use the lightest color in here, which is in the color Unfaithful, which is this one right here at the edge. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the residue of the color Unfaithful and just kind of blend that into here just to kind of soften it up, because I wanted to do something more deep, but not this deep. I just didn't think that the colors would come out this deep with the cream base, but it's okay. So then on the outer corners and then going back into the crease, I want to go ahead and try the deepest color in here, which is in the color Amore. This looks like a brown, but I know the eyeshadow on me. Hold on. This is going to go on way more mauve than expected. So I'm going to go ahead and start up here to kind of just add some depth in the dimension. And it looks like that's what the description of this palette was talking about on the Patrick Ta website, is if you really want to go for depth in the dimension, you could definitely use the cream base on the outer corner and then top it with the matte eyeshadows. You definitely get that dimension. But y'all, look how creamy that is. It's really pretty. Like, sometimes these expensive palettes be worth it, y'all. Formulas are sometimes different. I know that there's palettes out there where they just charge for the name. For example, Natasha Denona is really good, but is it worth the money? Not necessarily. This one, on the other hand, we'll see. It's really pretty. This is definitely dramatic. I'm gonna lighten that up, kind of blend it all together. So like I was saying, this is definitely not a nude palette. Let's go ahead and start off with more towards the inner corners of our eyes and use this shimmer shade right here, which is in the color Loyal. We're just going to go ahead and use more of a flatter brush to put that on. Now there is fallout in the palette when tapping into it, but nothing crazy. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp the corners right here. Ooh, that is really pretty. Okay, I've definitely never tried a glitter like this before. And I've tried a lot. And a little bit goes a long way. That is really pretty. This is really pretty to use for like a summer bronze look if you just put this all over the eyelid. So then I want to go more, I want to kind of like brighten up the look. So let's go ahead and try this color right here in the center, which is Desire. So that's like a glitter topper. So we're going to go ahead and take that with just another flat brush. This is the type where like when you scoop it out of the palette, it kind of creates a dent in the palette. Like you can see that dent, right? That's because it's just a glitter topper. So we're going to go ahead and apply that towards the center. Ooh. So this is more metallic-y, if anything. This might not be everybody's cup of tea. Definitely pretty though. Yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, do the other eye. You might want to use your finger for this part, but you all know how I feel. I don't really like using my fingers for applying eyeshadow. It's not my thing. I have acrylics. It's a little bit difficult for me. And I want to get a little wild, just a little wild, and tap into the pressed glitter next to it in the color Lust. This one looks really, really pretty. It has like corally, iridescent reflex to it. I'm going to apply that right here just to see if we could get kind of like a coral transition. Little bit of fallout, nothing too bad. So to me, this is looking stunning. I know that it's a very dramatic look and it might be just a little bit too much for some of you out there, but that is because, again, we did use the cream base, and that cream base definitely made the colors a lot darker and really created that depth and dimension if you're going for a dramatic look. I'm just going to go ahead and dust some of this dark color off or kind of blend it just to soften it up just a tad bit. But this is a beautiful palette. So if you are going to a event in the summertime or whatever time of year it is, and you're looking for something that is on the mauve tones, if you're someone who doesn't necessarily like nudes, but you definitely like pinks to mauves, and you're looking for something in a palette that kind of gives you a variety, this is honestly worth it so far, just because you do get those lighter colors, the darker colors, you get the cream bases, you get the glitters, and you get glitter toppers, which is really, really nice to have. And the quality of this, I could see why it is so expensive. So let's recap. We're not done just yet, but let's recap on basically the quality of these eyeshadows. Now, this is like nothing I've ever tried before. The shadows are so creamy, y'all. I mean, they are so darn creamy. They are so beautiful, so blendable. And you guys saw, like, I was able to stack the shadows and even take away some of the shadow without it becoming patchy. And you could definitely see that there is a lot of quality and pigmentation into these colors. Like, when you put these on, you feel the creaminess. And sometimes when you get colors in this range, you go about stacking them and blending them over and over again, it tends to get patchy. But this formula here is absolutely stunning. The glitters are very, very beautiful. The pressed glitters are really beautiful. The toppers are beautiful. There is a little bit of fallout, but it's honestly, it's expected, because I mean, it's just the glitters of that sort. So I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it. I don't mind a little bit of fallout. I think people who go crazy over fallout just need to calm down, take a seat. It's not that serious. Just dust it away. Dusting it away right now. It doesn't change the look of my face makeup or anything like that. So we put on mascara. I used the, who is this? Rockins Cosmetics All Night Bender Black Extreme Lash Mascara. I like this one. I forgot that I had this one. It's pretty good. So for lashes, because this look got very dramatic really, really quick, I went ahead and used more of a cat eye lash that goes from a light lash to a darker lash. It is from Fifi Lashes. I don't know the name of it. If you don't know who Fifi Lashes is, it is a brand called Fifi Lashes by Natalie G. They are a small Latina-owned company. They sell lashes. I think they also sell jewelry as well. I used to have a lash subscription from them, but I ended it just because I kept getting the same lashes over and over. And in that lash subscription, you get 3 lashes per month. But when you first sign up, they give you basically this lash holder and 3 random lashes. So I don't have the name of this one right here, but it's really pretty. You can create this type of lash on your own. All you need is basically a light flared lash, and then you need to take a more dramatic flared lash, cut the ends, and put the more dramatic ends towards, glue them on towards the edges of your eyes, if that makes sense. So that is what I used for lashes. Now, let's go ahead and do the bottom of the eyes. Maybe I am going to be able to use most of the colors in the palette. I'll go ahead and use the lighter colors just so that we could say that we use this whole row. So I'll go ahead and start off with the color Heartache, which is more, this one looks like it goes on brown, trust me, but it doesn't. All right, so I'm going to take more of a fluffy brush and then just kind of smoke it. You'll see how this one goes on more mauve. Like, isn't that a trip how it looks brown, but it goes on mauve? So that's why I keep saying this is not a palette for those of you who want something that's more on the brown side. This is definitely something that's more on the pinky side for all the pink lovers out there. This palette is also really pretty if you're one of those people out there who have like red hair or burgundy hair. Oh my God. I used to have like that red burgundy, and these colors look so pretty when you have that hair color. I mean, it doesn't matter what hair color you have, but especially when you have more of a reddish pinkish hair color, it's really, really pretty. All right, so I want to take the last color on the bottom row that we have not used in the color Passion. This one is more of a definitely a mauve-y color. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that, dust it off, and just go towards the edges, flare it up, and then bring it in. That's just my style for getting more of a pulled out look. And you can see how freaking creamy, blendable this all is. This is a really good palette, honestly, for those of you who are just starting out in makeup. It may be intimidating to look at, but it's really pretty because the quality, well, it's really pretty, and because the quality of these colors are so creamy and blendable, you could definitely experiment and create looks without feeling like you're gonna mess up and have to wipe off. Like you can just basically blend away the colors or keep building and building. This is my first Patrick Ta makeup product, and it definitely won't be my last. I am so impressed. This is the final look, and I know that it came out very dramatic, and you know what? So be it. This palette is absolutely stunning, and it just goes to show that you can create depth, you can create dimension, you can really truly create a lighter look if you wanted to. Now, when you use the cream bases like I did, it made the look more dramatic. Had we not used the cream base, I feel like this look would have been a little bit more softer, but there's nothing wrong with it, because if you accidentally do a makeup look that's a little bit more on the dramatic side and you didn't intend to, throw on a little bit of a dramatic lash, especially a cat eyelash like I did, and it kind of helps just blend everything all together. So I know this palette is $68, but the fact that you get the glitters, the toppers, the mattes, and the cream bases, to me, it makes this palette guilty of being worthy of your dollars. It is on the pricier side. However, these are one of those palettes that you definitely need in your collection if you are in the market for something of these tones. If you're looking to downscale your makeup collection and just use products that are more of a quality, and even though they are a little bit more expensive, that's where I feel like you can justify it in your budget. So anyways, I hope that you all found this video informative. I hope that you all love this look. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notified of every time that I do upload a video. Please always remember to be kind and spread peace, love, and happiness. I will see you all in my next video.